presence of God with us. Yes, we have. We've been in relationships without the presence of God. Yes, we have. That's why some folks not in their relationship now. Or they're in it and they're in hell in it. Because when they went into it, God wasn't leading the way. They would lead the way. Oh, they look good. That's my chick. They look good. Yeah. Not God. But what we wanted, what we were desiring. And so it's very important that we understand that in terms of the presence of God being unending, is that it needs to go everywhere we go.
That's right.
And so the Israelites, they had this tradition where the Ark of the Covenant would go before them in battle. When they would travel from different places, the Ark of the Covenant would be in front of them. And again, it symbolized the presence of God. And so what I need to say about worship being unending is to help us to understand that worship is a lifestyle. Some people think that worship is a program. Like, is this is worship, because it says the order of worship. This is like the mountaintop experience of, somebody said it, I think it was Vanessa. This experience of the worship program or the worship service is a mountaintop experience of the feeling of God that you've had all week. So when I say that worship is unending, I'm saying that worship is a lifestyle. Worship isn't a song. It's not a type of song that you sing, it's slow, and you say in the words, I worship you, Lord. That's not worship. Worship means that God is the center of my life. That God's presence is a part of everything I do and everywhere I go. That's worship. It's not a song. It's not a service. It's not a station. It encompasses everything that you are. You guys with me? So that's what I mean when I say that it's unending. And the beautiful thing about this is that you can have the presence of God wherever you are. Right. See, Obed-Edom, he was smart, boy. He was like, yeah, let the ark rest here. Because you know what happens when you have the presence of God? And somebody was mentioning earlier, so you can have peaceful problems when you have the presence of God. Life is crazy because that's how life is sometimes. It just, things don't always go smoothly. People get on your nerves, stuff happens at work, stuff happens in your family, stuff happens. And when you have the presence of God, you're not always looking for the hand of God. You're not always looking for God to do something. This is the most powerful thing about God's presence. I'm telling you. Things can be crazy and you'll be cool. Things will be crazy and you'll be able to kick back. Because you have the presence of God that gives you peace beyond all understanding, and it really does. But you got to have more than what you get up in here on Sunday to have peace when things are crazy. When you have problems, this is not going to be enough. You need a deeper level of intimacy with God that's going to carry you through some of the things that are going to confront you in your life. This is not going to get it, this little hour. So you're going to have to be working on that on an unending basis. On an everyday basis. That's why you got to pray. That's why you got to seek God's face. That's why you got to ask God to fall fresh on you. That's why you got to get on your face. That's why you got to take a minute in your car and say, God, before I go in here at work, I need you to be with me. When I deal with these people, some of you have some really important jobs that are impacting people's life. You need God's presence with you while you're doing all those things. So it's not just a time when you come in here and lift up your hands and praise God. That's the high point. It's at the low point too. And so I want you to know that when you have that kind of presence of God, my God, I saw this lady. I didn't understand how could she forgive somebody that killed her own child. But I understand, and I can't remember her name, I don't remember the situation, I just remember her standing up and saying to the man that she forgives him and that she's going to let it go. He was convicted and everything, but the family wasn't holding anything against him anymore. And you can only do that kind of stuff with the presence of God. You can only have triumph when there's tragedy with the presence of God. Only with the presence of God can you have joy when everything is jacked up. It is only with the presence of God. And what I'm trying to describe to you in a way is hard to describe. There's no words, but you know when you feel it. You're in the car and something comes over you. Yes. And you get full. And you have this peace. And you might be in the middle of a storm. Somebody might have said something to you and you're like, and it's like God speaks to you and says, you're going to be okay. Yeah. Sometimes how it feels to me is like God puts his arms around me. Sometimes I don't even want to be held. I'm just so irritated and frustrated and feeling by myself. I look like my body like this. And God will just come behind me and just, baby, I got you. I got you. We're going to get through this. That's what I'm talking about, that kind of palatable presence of God. You need that whether you're 10 or whether you're 90. You're going to need that because of the things that lives bring.